Oh, okay. Thank you
Yeah,
for
she
letting me
fucking
know.
yells at to you now when it
That's
starts.
awesome.
Yes, it's great.
That's amazing.
And then it tells you again, like when you're done recording, they're like, "This meeting is done being recorded." I'm pretty sure it does. You're like, "Great, cool, thanks, Jan. I appreciate it." Yes, I just see
Uh,
ducks.
okay. I'm ready.
I'm ready. Bless. Okay. Let's see how she goes. Special treat, Patreon. Special treat. It's going to be good.
Do they watch this live?
What do you mean? Do they watch it live?
The
Oh,
patrons.
the videos are, Juniper has been editing them down. And I'm like, why? I tell you to not do that.
Just do them raw.
Yeah, that's what
Give
we're
it to
doing.
them raw and wriggling.
Raw dog and wriggling about.
That's
Disgusting.
it.
Yeah, no, I told Juniper to leave. I was like, once I click record and the video starts, that's where I want the YouTube video to start. Give you a little behind the scenes, give you your money's worth.
BTS.
Some BTS. I don't listen to them. I'm really
Neither do
sorry. I
I
really
would
do
eat the
not.
meal though, for real.
Yeah,
Can you hear me okay?
I
Do
can
I
hear you
sound clear?
okay. You
Okay.
do sound clear. You sound great.
Amazing.
Not far away or anything at all.
Wonderful.
Yeah, what fucking mic are you using?
I'm using my Bcaster mic. It's given me quite a few issues in the past. I wouldn't really
Oh.
recommend it to anybody, but when it works great.
Yeah, well, she's working today.
Yeah.
You don't sound far away at all.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, let's see. My do not disturb is on. Should we do a clap sync for you?
For funsies?
For you, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
1, 2, 3, and
Oh, you didn't tip?
that'll be fine. Yeah.
Do I need to be doing two?
No.
Oh, okay. I would do two.
I know you would.
I would. All right, here we go. Now we are synced. All right, I'm gonna bring us in. Here we go.
Cool. Let's go for it.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of What the Femme podcast. I am Marie Dementh, and I am joined today by none other than.
Hi, I'm Kurt Danger, Kurt Van Zandt, or Mayo Boy, whatever you wanna call me.
Just call
I'm
me.
here on What the Femme.
You are. Yes. So Birdie is off dealing with some family issues. Everything is going great and good now. Things are mostly in the clear. But if you do follow, which you should follow her on Instagram at Birdie Holly, send her some love. Send her some love her way, to her and her family. Keep those good vibes out. And we will be back together next week, bright and sunshiny and new. But today we're going to have ourselves a special little episode, a special little cross promo, if you will,
Sure.
of the different variety. Last time we got to have you on the show, we were doing drive through this snack content. And now I'm sitting here going, I wish I had eaten a snack before I had done this.
Me too.
It's fine.
Classic.
We are recording at a very abnormal time. And for that, our bodies are not so grateful, but that's okay.
We're recording at exactly snack time.
It is exactly snack time. You are 100% right. Well, we'll get us through and we'll do some snacks here in a little bit. There you go. But we got some good shit to talk about today. I'm very excited. Kurt is going to tell us a little bit here in a little bit about Murder at Action Lanes. Some really sweet Sundown Collaborative Theatre work going on in those neck of the woods. But before we get started, I just wanted to roll through some regular old top of the show shenanigans. Thank you to everyone who's been leaving us reviews and rating us and following us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Please keep doing that. Apple Podcasts is actually going to be making some changes to their formatting where you can subscribe. I think there's some sort of paywall coming with it too. Things are coming. So if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, make sure that you are following us so you can get updates on all of our upcoming shows or upcoming episode releases, as well as leave us a review. That really helps us out with other people finding our show. Same with following us on Spotify. So please to do that. Thank you. Thank you. Our next Queer Creatives on Rise is happening Wednesday, June 16th at 7 p.m. Central on Twitch. I'm going to be sitting down with drag artist Bad Poppy. That's going to be a really great time. Hope to share some performances from Bad Poppy on the show as well. So make sure you're following us there at twitch.tv/whatthefempodcast. And that is pretty much it for top of the show things. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Let us move on to our topic of the week. So I am very excited to share some of these topic items with you, Kurt, because it kind of ties into your show. I don't know what should come first. Should we talk about the topic first, or should we promote the show now?
Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll give a little bit of context for the show.
Oh my God, would you please?
Yes, I would. So right now I'm the technical director over at Sundown Collaborative Theatre. It's a local long-standing theater troupe in Denton. And because of the pandemic, we were looking for alternative ways to create and perform, all of our little creative minds and butts were just vibrating constantly in our seats, not being able to do anything or perform, and
fully vibrating.
Yes, just it was horrible. So I went ahead, and I was very busy at the time when pitching came around, and I went ahead and pitched something that I did not think would get picked, which is a murder mystery radio show.
Really? You did not think that was going to get picked?
No, because it was such a huge workload. I was like, there's no way they're going to do that.
Right.
And then they picked it, and it was up first. So I was like, oh, okay. So I started we kind of jumped right into starting to write this show. And we kind of went through a couple of different settings. Like we just kind of started with, well, where is it set? And we were like, oh, we could do an old style in a theater kind of murder mystery show, or we could do like an old West kind of thing, and or it could be in modern day. So we took a vote on what sounded the best, what we could do something with. And I had recently listened to an episode of a podcast called The Dollop, which is I really enjoy them.
Sure do love them.
Yeah, they're great.
This is a Dollop Stan network.
Yeah, I really like The Dollop. And it was an old episode about the American obsession with bowling. Oh. So, yeah. So this is where it really starts, right? There's in the 40s, 50s, 60s, there was a peak, a weird apex in the American obsession with bowling. And you know how you hustle at pool, where you're like, you pretend to be shitty at pool, and then you like, people were doing that with bowling. Like there were these like young kids who were hustling people at bowling, and it was like connected with a bunch of gangs and stuff. And so
violence
in bowling. Yeah. It was like this. Woo! It was called action bowling.
Wow.
It was this very much an exciting, adrenaline-filled field at the time. So we've set Murder at Action Lanes in this peak of the American obsession with bowling, right at the advent of mechanical ball return and pin setting machines. So they are just being introduced in the 50s and becoming widespread. There's a fucking bowling alley on every corner at this point in America.
Much like Starbucks.
And the pin boys of the past that we had forever, somebody who would come and reset the pins and bring you back your ball, have gone by the wayside. There are lots of
replaced by technology.
Yes, precisely so. So there's a lot of stuff going on in Murder at Action Lanes. It's a completely original script. We wrote it all together, which was a huge undertaking, and I can't believe we did that.
How many people are on the team? How many people are working on this project?
There are less than 10 people on our writing team.
Word.
I'm trying to, if I count really quickly.
Name them.
At least 7.
Wow. That's still a lot.
I'll name them really quickly.
Do it.
Jacob Drunn, Lindsay Hall, Julia Bodiford, Robert Linder, Matt McNabb, Ryan Davila, and me, and Kelsey Smith.
8.
Amazing.
Yes. That's still a lot. That's a very big writing.
Quite a few folks on the writing team, and that was a real challenge coming up as the director of the piece.
Yeah.
Making sure that everyone's ideas were incorporated in some way, while at the same time keeping it consistent.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, that's the show. It's called Murder at Action Lanes. When you Google it, we come up before the actual bowling alley murder in Rockford, Illinois. Which is great.
Surpassed in the Google results. That is like from like a marketing perspective, very big deal.
Yeah, our SEO is very hot right now.
Yeah, you are spicy. That's amazing. Okay, so Murder at Action Lanes. This is going to be really awesome. So so earlier in the show, before we started recording, I went and found the show on Spotify and clicked follow, because you can do that now, right?
That's right. You can find it everywhere you find podcasts, anywhere.
Excellent.
And right now we're posting teasers. We're trying to post one every week, every 2 weeks, until the official release date on July 21st, 2021.
Amazing. That's just right around the corner. That's like month and 10 days. I think
it's a 5-episode run, and there's so the first episode drops in July.
Wow, that's awesome. So I hope that one day you get to like recreate it in some way to like where we can experience it as like people in person. I don't know.
How fun would that be?
That would be fun. I was about to say, I don't know if you've already got anything like that planned.
Oh no, not at all.
Man,
but as soon as you said that, I was like, oh, here's what we could do. You know that Sleep No More shit where it's like you follow do you know about Sleep No More?
Jesus fucking Christ. Right in the middle. No, it's fine. I think Michael's on. What was it called?
It's called Sleep No More. Have you heard of it?
No, I have not heard of that.
It's like an immersive theater thing based on Hamlet, and you follow the actors through this like multi-roomed playhouse, essentially, where it's like you are a part of the show, and it's an immersive theater experience. So I was like, oh, that's what we'll do. We'll rent out a shitty little bowling alley and we'll do a Sleep No More, but it's Murder at Action Lanes. And you can start following people that you think did it.
Oh my God.
That would be cool.
That would be amazing if we could put little cameras on their little bodies.
Oh, that would be
like
rad.
Walk through, and then you can watch at home. Oh my gosh. We're planning an event in the middle of the episode. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's what we do. Yeah, that would be really awesome. I would love whatever y'all come up with. Would love to enjoy it with people in person one day when it's safe to do so. Yeah, inside a bowling alley, that would be the best.
Pretty rad.
Such creepy. I mean, what was the really awesome scary story show?
Woman in Black.
Did? Thank you, Woman in Black. I was like, it's not that simple as Woman in Black. That's the title.
No, it's the Woman in Black. Yeah,
it is. And so shout out to Lindsay Hall for her performance in that show.
As the Woman in Black.
Woo, as the Woman in Black. And truly terrifying. Like such a good performance. I cannot even imagine. So if like
it was a great show.
Thinking about her being able to like be spooky in that way again, but like at the bowling lanes would be
well, you have no idea if Lindsay's in the show or
you don't. That's very true.
Even if they're, what's so exciting about this project specifically is that there is a cast of 14 characters in the show, and any one of them is a suspect for the murder. So you really do get to follow, we have our protagonist, quote unquote, Raymond Barrows, Detective Raymond Barrows. During the writing process, we absolutely had conversations about the state of American policing at the moment and whether or not we actually wanted like a cop protagonist.
Oh yeah, great point.
we really did a lot of thinking and brainstorming about how we could make, this 1950s detective somebody that is interesting to listen to as someone who is essentially narrating the show, and someone who isn't, whose entire persona isn't just I'm a cop.
Right. How do you express the multitudes?
Yeah, and there's this is not a pro-police program, I will say.
Not by any stretch of the
not by
word.
any means,
or by anybody in general or anything. Produced by Sundown, I would venture to
likely
say as well.
likely not.
Likely no.
I would say
likely no.
There's like a 0% chance of that.
0% chance. Already not
to my knowledge.
100%.
Is there anything else? I'm not sure how to lead into our topic of the day and how to,
for sure,
how to go from the show to this fun topic.
To this. Yeah, absolutely. So thinking about a murder mystery show, thinking about how it's Pride Month, I'm fully aware, but have not experienced the end of the show Pose on FX as created by Ryan Murphy. Our forever.
Oh, was that a Ryan Murphy joint?
Did you not know that was a Ryan Murphy joint?
Jesus.
Yeah, I know. Well, if you make it to the last season, there's a lot of singing involved, and that's where you go, Ryan Murphy.
Ryan,
still aren't you? You're still here, aren't you? Thinking that it's not Glee anymore. We can't do it anymore, though he is trying to. And we will not go into Ryan Murphy for forever, but yes, he did.
I had no idea.
Pose. Yeah,
100%
his show. Yeah, I know. Okay. Isn't that so funny?
All right.
Yeah, and I gotta say,
go Ryan.
Great job for Ryan for creating that space. But like, shout out to the cast and crew though, who created and really brought that show to life. And what's tied in with that is that I think a lot of people do not know or are not very learned on the inspiration material for Pose, which is the documentary Paris is Burning, and the real people who did the real ball culture and ballroom performances and things of that nature that are found in that documentary. And in addition to that, people probably, those who do know about the history, or if you've seen the documentary, if you've not seen the documentary Paris is Burning, you need to pause this episode. You need to go watch that. And then you need to come back and enjoy this, because there's going to be a lot of spoilers.
Okay, then let's pause it so I can go watch it really quick.
You're going to go right now? Yeah, go. Yeah, okay, bye.
And we're back.
Yes,
it was a really fabulous documentary. I really enjoyed it. I can't believe it's just so powerful.
It is a lot. It is.
I have cultural knowledge of it.
Oh yeah, of course. No, you're fine. I mean, if you've watched Pose, you've pretty much watched.
I haven't done that either.
Fuck. Go ahead and cut that line.
All I watch is Frasier.
All I watch is Frasier. I just went to Frasier Land. I saw the needle.
Oh.
Yeah, in Seattle. It was a good time. Okay. So yeah,
I'm excited to hear about all of it, because
I will give backstory.
Yes, I definitely, personally, I've been so locked in the 1950s that I haven't. I'm like, there's so much current queer culture that I have not yet experienced.
That's totally fine. I will give like a little bit of backstory then. Okay.
Thank you. I think that will help the audience as well.
Oh, it will, absolutely. Yeah. So to basically summarize, if you've not seen, I say that anybody that hasn't seen it needs to go and watch it. If not, essentially, Paris is Burning is a documentary that came out in 1990. It was produced by a director named Jenny Livingston, who was just like a film person that was, hung out in the New York scene at that time. And this documentary that she put together documents the life and times of several original drag houses that were actively participating in the ballroom community, or the ballroom culture that was found in Harlem, or I'm sorry, it might have actually been the Bronx. I'm gonna pause. That's very important. Yes, in Harlem. That's what I thought. So this documentary features a lot of one-on-one screen time with the mothers of these houses. So you had House of Ninja, House of Extravaganza, you had House of La Beja, House Pendavis, and then I think there's one or two more that I cannot name off the top of my head, and they're not listed here. So be sure to go check out the documentary, and you get to learn more about them. And it's like the first like piece of media that is like mass produced that really dives into ballroom culture, drag culture, even like down to explaining what throwing shade means. Like there's a lot of history in that, and as far as like stuff that we still reference and use today, and like how shows are coordinated, how pageants are coordinated within like drag pageant culture. It's a really important piece of work. And so in this documentary, there are, and this is the person that I really wanted to focus on today. You have the house mother, Dorian Corey, who is a big, who's featured a lot in this documentary out of, everybody that is featured. She gets probably some of the most screen time. So Dorian Corey was a drag mother. She spent a lot of time performing in the Harlem area and as a drag artist, probably for a good 30, 40 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So she spent some time with the Pearl Box Review when she first got her start, which, if I remember correctly, is the same. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Storme Delavier was with the Jewel Box Review. So Pearl Box Review over here for Dorian Corey.
I'm viewing some pictures right now
of Dorian Corey.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So you've probably seen samples from this in like queer history related media. There's some really great clips of, she just says some really powerful shit. And she's just very real and talks about like her history and what it's like to be like an elder in the queer community. She was an amazing person. She spent a lot of time performing. She was also a member of the trans community, and did a lot of work in helping out fellow trans individuals who were making their way, trying to find their chosen family within the ballroom culture, as many queer people did when they came to New York or are from that area, and had to seek out chosen family because they did not find any within their own. As is also kind of depicted in Pose when you get a chance to watch it. And also if you get a chance to watch the show Pose and haven't seen this, you will watch Paris is Burning and see a lot of parallels. And that's another which leads me to the dark side, I guess one would say, of Dorian Corey's history, but one can't actually say if it is actually hers, because that's what makes this whole thing like a murder mystery in relation to her history. Right. I'm about to take you down this crazy ass murder mystery. Yes. Okay. 100%.
I'm so ready.
I am very ready as well. So before I get started, I just want to say that my resource today is investigationdiscovery.com's article, The True Story of I don't want to give you the title. It's going to give it away. I'm not going to give you the title, but know that an individual from investigationdiscovery.com wrote this great article. Oh, Mike McPadden. Thank you, friend.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike. All right. So earlier I was talking about Paris is Burning, mentioned Dorian Corey. Dorian Corey, unfortunately, passed away in 1993 due to complications related to AIDS. That's another prominent topic in the documentary that gets covered, obviously, because it was in the peak of the AIDS epidemic in the United States. So in October of 1993, 2 months after Corey had passed, fellow drag performer Lois Taylor, who had taken care of Dorian Corey in her final weeks and made sure everything was put together for her life, and a lot of that like end of life closure care, and to repay Lois Taylor for her kindness, Dorian Corey said that you can have all of my costumes, keep as many as you want, sell the rest, and keep the money from selling the costumes. So lots and lots of really great costumes to choose from. So of course she goes over to Dorian Corey's apartment with a fellow drag performer and starts pulling stuff out of Dorian Corey's closet. As they are doing this, they come upon a trunk, like a trunk in a closet that had a large lumpy garment bag on the inside. So this is like an old school garment bag. These are very thick, like vinyl type of material. Once those suckers are closed, they're closed. So they're like, this bag is very heavy. We can't pick it up. Let's cut it open and see what's inside. Yep. That's right, friends. That's when it turned, everybody. As soon as they cut open this garment bag, the most disgusting odor comes pouring out of this bag.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, exactly. So they immediately stop touching the bag and say, we have to call the police. So police are called. And they apparently find inside this bag the body of a man, male presenting person, in a fetal position, wrapped up in, I believe it was duct tape, and a material that mimicked leather. They had been completely, so they were wrapped in a layer of this like fake leather material, followed by like shipping tape or duct tape or something of that nature in the fetal position inside this garment bag. Yes. As soon as they remove some of that material, they find that the body was clad only in boxer shorts and the victim had a bullet wound to the head.
Whoa. Okay.
Yes. So now we've got a dead body in a closet of a drag queen who is also deceased, unfortunately. So lots of craziness going on there, right?
Do they know like how long it had been there before they had found it?
Yes. So come to find out, they got the name. So they had to bring in a forensics detective or a forensic science person to come in and use a specific chemical process to harden the fingertips of this person's body because...
Wait, Danielle, did we start recording again?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good. Just checking.
Yes. Yeah, that's totally fine. It's fine. There you go. Look out for that. So they couldn't originally get fingerprints off of the body so that they could identify it. So they had to bring in a special coroner. Thank you. To do a chemical process on the body's fingertips to make them harden so that fingerprints could be produced. Because in order for you to get a proper fingerprint reading to like run it in the system, you have to have all 10.
That's actually so cool.
Crazy. Yeah, I know. I was like, what? You just did this chemical process and
that's
it like
so sick.
Raised your fingerprints? Yeah. So there you go, folks. Good to know. So come to find out, they identified the body as an individual named Robert Worley, also who also went by Bobby Wells, who had been missing from their family since the 60s. So that was the last time a like individual family member had seen them. Yes. Come to find out, this individual also had a little bit of a record, an assault record, as well, that had dates of like in 1963 was like the last time they had been charged or served time or what have you. So after they find out all of those things, they do the whole like tests and whatnot. Turns out that body has been in that bag for at least 15 years, if not longer.
Holy shit.
Yes, exactly. And so a little bit of math. So this is where it gets kind of crazy because, of course, you've got two individuals who are deceased, who are related to one another in this incident. And they're the only ones who know everything about what's going on. So with the idea of that body being the mummy, or with the body of Bobby Wells being in that closet for at least 15 years, puts probably the death around 1978, I believe is what was, yes, exactly. But come to find out, Dorian Corey hadn't moved into that apartment complex until 1988.
Okay.
Yeah. Exactly. So
it can't be her.
Right. Exactly. But nobody can know because only two people who know are no longer here on this earth. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. So it opened up a lot of rumor and speculation. There was, nothing to be done really. And so it still just kind of remains a mystery to this day as to how it could have possibly happened. Right. And so here's a post spoiler for everybody. I'm about to spoil this for you as well. And I apologize, but it's important. So if you have seen if you've watched all of Pose, they recreate this story with like an assumed story backline of how this happened in season 2, episode 3. With the, oh my gosh, I cannot remember her name in the show. She's from the House of Electra. I think it's Dominique Electra, except I think her real name is Dominique as well. Anyway, they recreate this a possible scenario in which this could have played out in season 2, episode 3. And at the end of the episode, the person that gets killed in said episode gets wrapped up in this same process, stuffed in a canvas carpet bag, and shoved in the back of a closet of another performer's apartment. Yeah, as to kind of assume. So yeah, so that's the really great thing about Pose too, is that there is a lot of parallels between like actual events and actual people who lived in their stories. And there's a couple there is also another individual who was actually murdered, and they talk about that in Paris is Burning, who was from the House of Extravaganza, and her death is honored in another episode through the character that Angelica Ross plays, and I think that is actually in season 3. So all of that to say, lots of history behind the show Pose, lots of murder mystery as well, in a couple of ways, all very bad, obviously. Yeah, because obviously murder of any kind is really awful. But I will say the show does a great job of reminding people that it's important to protect our Black trans women, because the lives that they lead, and let me backtrack. It's nothing to do with the lives that they lead. It has everything to do with our society and our culture and the people who perpetuate fear and transphobia, and that is what causes the death of Black trans women, and it has been going on for a lot longer than our current years, and a lot longer than the 80s, a lot longer than the 70s. So I will say that the show Pose does a great job of finding ways to share that history through their artwork. And you should absolutely 100% check out Paris is Burning. And yeah, honor your fucking queer folks and your queer history. I think that's all of it. Any questions?
I don't. I'm very excited to go watch these now.
Yes, please go check them out.
Yeah, I've been so stuck in Seattle Cheers-based nightmare culture that I have neglected to, on this beautiful month of Pride. To consume any beautiful media. So this is a call to action for all of my fellow Frasier watchers out there to just go ahead and
hit pause.
Go ahead and hit pause. Watch something else.
Yeah, find another thing to do.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, Kurt, thank you so much for joining me today and for sharing everything about Murder at Action Lanes with us this week.
Absolutely. You can subscribe anywhere you get podcasts. Watch out for it. July 21st, 2021.
Amazing. How can we support Sundown Collaborative Theatre? Where can we find your works?
Great question. Here's the thing. Everybody listening to this right now should open your phone and subscribe to Murder at Action Lanes, 1, and 2 should follow Sundown Theater. That's theater with an R-E at the end, not an E-R.
That's right.
And get updates on Murder at Action Lanes and all of the really, really cool stuff we have coming up. We have a virtual show coming up that everyone should be excited about. I won't drop the details as yet, but there has been a season announcement that you can watch very, you can watch now on any of our social media platforms.
Amazing.
So I'm excited for all of the stuff we have coming up, and please go subscribe to our silly little show. We've worked so hard on it, and I think you'll really enjoy it.
Yeah, I think they are too. I think it's going to be a really nice time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, before we go, I just want to rattle through some end of show details.
Please, I love end of show details.
They're pretty delicious. Oh, that's great when I get to say everybody's last names poorly.
Yes.
It's a good time. Yes, 100%. All right. So thank you to the following people for supporting us on Patreon. You can join in on these folks and receive ad-free episodes produced by the one and only Kurt Danger right here on this episode, along with a watch-along series for the episodes that we produce. We've got a Discord server. We've got some exclusive merch coming out that we'll be talking about here in the coming weeks. Join us today at patreon.com/WTFEMME podcast. So thank you to Kristen Spavchik, Danica Dobson, Megan Doherty, Atticus Kimbrough, Christopher Walker, Devin Bruner, Allie Barnes, Courtney Marie, Danny Nichols, and Kirby and Lucy for supporting the Patreon. Our next show is next Queer Creatives on Rise is Wednesday, June 16th at 7 p.m. Central on Twitch, featuring drag artist Poppy. You can subscribe or you can follow our show today at twitch.tv/whatthefempodcast. I like to do the occasional video stream on Saturday nights. Maybe I'll do one this weekend if you're super good. Last thing, we are working on choosing our next beneficiaries to support with our merch sales. So if you know of a particular LGBTQIA plus organization that is in need, we welcome that input at secretagentfem@gmail.com. Send us a little message and a link with your organization and let us know so we can check them out. Very last thing, just wanted to say a quick shout out to everybody in our fine arts community here in the heart of Denton, Texas. We lost a good one last week.
Yeah.
Rest in peace rather to the one and only Gerald Holt. Gerald was an amazing artist, an incredible drummer, a great friend, one of the most supportive people of anybody's. If you made art and you were friends with Gerald, I guarantee you he supported the shit out of it. So he will be sorely missed. Tell your friends that you love them. Take care of them. Everybody take care of each other. And yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kurt, thank you again for joining me today. It's been a pleasure. And
I've been so happy to be here. I love you so much.
I love you. And thank you everybody for tuning in to another episode of What the Femme podcast. We will talk to you next week. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye.